Hello and welcome to the Federal. The turf war between Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his deputy D.K. Shivakumar is once again in the news. You have yet another season of guessing whether the Chief Minister in Karnataka will be changed, whether Mr. Siddaramaiah will step down, whether he'll make way for D.K. Shivakumar. If there is a surprise dark horse that could likely come in, whether Mr. Parameshwara or somebody else. Now, all of this guessing game that's been going on for several weeks, it's almost a cyclical process with the Congress in Karnataka ever since they formed the government. Barring the first 2 years where things were slightly stable, there seems to be a recurring issue of who the Chief Minister should be, Mr. Siddaramaiah or Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. What we've been told is that over the next couple of days, Mr. Shivakumar, Mr. Siddaramaiah, people from their respective camps will be coming to Delhi to meet the Congress leadership, the Congress High Command, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, Leader of Opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, to present their case. Both the main contenders here, Mr. Shivakumar and Mr. Siddaramaiah, trying to make a case for their chief ministership. And this, of course, has created a situation of complete confusion within the Congress and particularly in Karnataka, which is one of the 3 states where the Congress is in power on its own at this point. You have Himachal Pradesh, where the Congress has a government, Telangana, and then Karnataka. Now, this entire confusion, of course, is also a reflection on the way things are in the Congress. There has been this running kind of a doubt on whether the centre is unable to hold, whether the Congress at the central level has become too weak to control these, to rein in this kind of a turf war, to control these leaders who are constantly snapping at each other's heels. So it's not something that is, of course, new in the Congress. It's something that's been going on over decades, not even the last few years. In recent context, of course, you've seen this happen in Chhattisgarh, where the Congress was in power till a few years back, and you had this same turf war between Mr. T.S. Singhdev and Mr. Bhupesh Baghel, who was then the Chief Minister. You had a similar situation in Rajasthan, where Mr. Ashok Gehlot and Mr. Sachin Pilot were both trying to outdo each other, outsmart each other, Mr. Gehlot wanting to stay on as CM, Mr. Pilot wanting to replace him as the CM. You have a similar situation currently in Himachal Pradesh, where the Congress's Chief Minister, Mr. Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu, is constantly being dragged down by the rival camp led by Pratibha Singh, who has recently been replaced from her post as the Himachal Congress president. And then you go slightly back in the past. Similar situation, you had in 1998 in Rajasthan, Mr. Ashok Gehlot and Mr. Parasram Madarna both vying for the Chief Minister's post. You've had, in Madhya Pradesh, the Congress government falling because Mr. Kamal Nath, Mr. Digvijay Singh and Mr. Scindia could not work together. And multiple such examples. Back during the Indira Gandhi's era, or when Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was at the helm of affairs, you had this constant thing of the old guard versus new guard, the young Turks and old guard, that kind of a narrative that would keep building up. Now, what has changed in the current scenario, perhaps? One of the reasons that many in the Congress talk about is that back in the day, back in the 70s, in the 80s, even in the 90s, the Congress still was relatively or at times very strong at the central level. You had an overarching, strong leadership at the center, whether it was Mrs. Gandhi, whether it was Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, or even later on during the Sonia Gandhi years or the earlier phase of her premiership of the party. And so at that point in time, with the Congress also ruling several states, its tally in the Parliament not being as low as it has been consistently since 2014, the Congress High Command at the centre had the capacity to crack the whip to rein in senior leaders, even veterans who were warring against each other, trying to outsmart each other at the cost of the party. That situation no longer remains. The Congress since 2014 has been almost pushed into an existential crisis. They went down to 44 seats, came up to 52 in 2019, and even today are only at 99 in the Lok Sabha. They've not been able to perform well in multiple state elections, one after the other. They've lost elections, the most recent one being Bihar. So, in that scenario, can the Congress afford to tick off several of its senior leaders? That's one big question. And do people sitting at the top of the party even have the grounds to tell a satrap at a regional level who's running a government or who has the capacity of bringing the party to power in a state, can they be dictated to on how to run the affairs of the party when the party leadership at the center itself is not being able to deliver any kind of a revival of fortunes electorally? That's one question. The other, which is very significant, which people in the Congress leadership at the central level and in states constantly talks about, is the mechanism of grievance redressal within the party. Back in the day, you had, whether Mrs. Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi's time, or even when you had Mrs. Sonia Gandhi as the party president, multiple avenues for disgruntled leaders to come and vent. You could go to an Ahmed Patel. If you didn't get along well with Ahmed Patel, you could go to an Ambika Soni. Even earlier than that, you could go to an ML Fatedar or an R.K. Dhawan, even an Oscar Fernandez for that matter. There were multiple leaders who acted as the first line of defense for the Congress president in terms of rebellion, of dissent, of discord, who could intervene, who had the political heft and the confidence of the Congress leadership at the center, the Congress High Command, to kind of intervene, settle the grievances of the warring leaders, or at least talk to them, give them an assurance, give them a patient ear. And people would feel that, okay, fine, they've made their point. Perhaps soon they will get some kind of reprieve, they'll get some kind of relief. Their complaints would be, addressed, and they would go back. Things would over time normalize. Plus, the earlier point that I mentioned of the Congress being relatively stronger also helped. In the current scenario, Congress leaders say there's almost no such avenue for venting out. And you have Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who is the de facto party president, even though Mr. Kharge has been elected as Congress president. Mr. Rahul Gandhi practically runs the show. And so, with him in charge, he has often been in news. He's made statements to this effect publicly, that he doesn't bother who stays in the party or who goes. Now, at a point where you are already in a very weak position, for the main commander of your party to say, I don't care whether I'm going to win an election or lose, I don't care whether my foot soldiers remain in the party or desert the party, I'm going to not change the way I do my politics. That itself breeds a lot of contempt, a lot of dissatisfaction, and a lot of resentment in the rank and file of the party. Because it sends the message that no matter what we say, no matter the merits of it, we're not going to get a patient hearing, we're not going to get any kind of a relief. Second, the people who earlier would intervene no longer exist in the Congress ecosystem. Constantly, one of the things that is said is that Rahul Gandhi has put all his eggs in one basket, that basket being called K.C. Venugopal, the General Secretary of the Congress organization. And with Mr. Venugopal, the constant grouse is he has no understanding of the political nuance beyond Kerala, which is his home state, or even Kerala for that matter. He doesn't speak fairly good communicative English or Hindi. and particularly Hindi being a problem with him, Hindi also being the language of most of the North Indian states where the Congress is in a very bad shape. So when leaders from these states, from the Hindi belt, come and speak to Mr. Venugopal, most of it is lost in translation. And he doesn't carry the political weight of an Ahmed Patel or an Ambika Soni or even an Ashok Gehlot or any number of the old Kshatraps of the party to kind of give that reassurance that your grievances will be addressed. Now, in this kind of a scenario, you have multiple states, one after the other, coming up with problems, with turf wars, with feuds, and you keep losing elections. The case of Karnataka is not very different. But again, in Karnataka, you also have the added kind of a double whammy for the Congress because it's also the home state of the Congress president. And what is the message that you're sending across? That even though it is the home state of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, he himself is not able to resolve these problems in Karnataka. Mr. Siddaramaiah, being a very shrewd, smart politician, has made all kinds of noises about stepping down if the party leadership wants him to. Now that is in politics is always a double-edged sword because people will think, okay, he's saying that he's willing to step down. But what it essentially means also is that he wants to continue, but he may be forced to step down because X, Y or Z leader does not want him to continue. And he said this repeatedly that if the Congress High Command asks me to go, I will go. In effect, meaning I actually want to continue, but I'm being asked to go. Now, if he does go, who comes in his place? He would naturally want a say in the matter. We're told he's got a plan B. There are names doing the rounds, Mr. G. Parameshwara being one of them. Mr. Parameshwara is a former Congress president of Karnataka. He's a man with long years of experience, and he's a Dalit. So is Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge. Mr. Kharge, a lot of the times is said, lost out on being made the chief minister in Karnataka because of his Dalit identity. So today, if Mr. Siddaramaiah tells Mr. Kharge that, okay, I'm willing to step down provided you have Mr. G. Parameshwara as the CM, can Mr. Kharge say no to that kind of a proposition and become a roadblock to another Dalit being made the CM? Just because he would want to ideally back Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. So there are those complications and there are wheels within wheels in this story. How this pans out eventually, nobody in the Congress has any clarity on at this point. We'll have to wait and see how this drama, this natak in Karnataka reaches its climax or an anti-climax, whether Mr. Siddaramaiah gets to complete his full term, whether he's changed midway, and what happens to Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll keep bringing you such updates. But with the Congress, clearly not all is right and there is no solution in sight.